On today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys NES Predator. Spot got a little behind reviewing this guy. I just never got around to a chance to actually reviewing him. But we're reviewing him right now. It is recommended for ages 17 and up and comes to us from the folks over at NECA. And in fashion of all their other NES property figures, I like down below that there's an official NECA seal of quality. The box has a certain level of age to it. I can assure you that the box is not aged or worn. That's just the way that they've designed the packaging, and I love that. The front of the packaging is the box from Predator, or at least the NES version game of Predator. And surprisingly enough, this was one of the first games that I picked up for the Nintendo. Not the biggest, smartest decision in my life when it comes to video game buying. Predator was a pretty weak game. But I love the fact that NECA has decided to release another NES version of something. The side of the box, once again, it's got that little wornness to the edges there. And on the back, if it bleeds, we can destroy it. You better, or it will be your blood that spills in the jungle. You face a deadly alien creature that skins men alive and collects human skulls just for the thrill of the hunt. It shows no mercy, it shows no pain, and now the predator that wasted all your men is coming after you. Awesome detail, extendable blades, and you can check out more from the folks over at NECA at www.necaonline.com. What you can also do too is, before we actually opened the box up, on the inside, "You're the ugly beast," Schaefer says. That's all it says. And then down below there's some little screen grab. On the inside, some artwork from the game. Life bar, item, punch. Such a useless... And the sounds, it was just like as he was punching stuff. And then the grenades were useless as well. But some incredible detail on that Predator. Can't wait to get him opened up. What I am going to do, though, is take a break. I'm going to get this opened up. And when we come back, we're going to get a better look at NES Predator. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. I wouldn't necessarily say that this Predator is how he appears in the game, because, well, Predator doesn't really appear in the game in Predator fashion. The game itself, you fought like this little rolling Predator that didn't quite look like the Predator, and then there was always the big stage. The big stage had a more accurate looking Dutch, at least, shooting blobs and other things, and then you fought the Predator at the end. The Predator at the end didn't quite look like this. This is really essentially the Predator looking up to the sky, I think actually when you had the game over screen, and let me tell you, as a child, I saw that game over screen a lot. The transitioning of taking an existing classic Predator that NECA used for this mold and converting it to an NES style is phenomenal. In fact, it probably could be some of the best work I've seen for an NES version release figure. I love Jason, I loved Freddy, but the sheer amount of detail on this piece with the extra layers of color is phenomenal. Also, too, with this being the classic upgraded Predator, it does also have the leg articulation that wasn't present on previous released Predators. Paint, again, is where this is astonishing. You might very well have this figure 10, 15 different times. It's been released a lot, but you've never probably gotten it in this kind of color scheme. The main base coat is kind of like a dark, say a dark purple, and then they've overlaid lighter blues and lighter blues on top of that. And the end result is something that looks like it was taken right from the game. On the back, again, things like his dreads are all colored in purple with the lighter blue in the links. Things such as his shoulder caster cannon are also painted in that blue and purple color scheme. It's a really phenomenal looking piece. It does have he still has the extendable blades. The blades are a little warped due to the way that they were packaged, but they do go in and out just ever so slightly. I suppose, if anything, the one problem I have with this particular figure is not the coloring, it's the legs. The legs are just a little tad bit loose. I may not necessarily display this guy. I haven't really displayed NES Jason or NES Freddy. I've kept them in boxes, and because I think they show as well out of packaging as they do in packaging, and I really dig the look of the NES box art. So I might likely just keep Predator in his packaging. That things such as loose legs don't bother me so much, but I'm hoping it's not an issue with other figures or other NES Predators as well. All the controls, all the little gears and stuff like that. I mean, theoretically, the Predator, I don't think was this good in the game. Yeah, even like the game over screen where we saw this blue motif Predator, this figure does a lot better justice than how he looked in the game. It does remind me, though, that NECA does have the mold for the Dutch. We've gotten Dutch about 4 different times. I'd love for them to do a Dutch from the game, and we're talking like all-out game level Dutch with the pink pants, completely ridiculous. I think he was kind of like orange in his body, and he had the pink pants. I kind of like to see them do that. I don't know if many people would jump on board for a pink pant Dutch from Predator, but I gotta say I'm really digging the blue here on this Predator. Also digging the fact that his helmet is a different color. It's about the same color as the torso, but it seems like it's just a little bit lighter. And again, all those details really come out. If anything, this Predator also shares a very similar motif to the NES Robocop, which is another figure I just never got around to reviewing. Being that both figures kind of share a very similar blue motif, both in the games and also in figure form. That would be a good figure to pick up and kind of, well, to review and kind of do a comparison between him and Predator here, because they do share very similar color schemes. When it comes to your articulation on Predator, of course, he would share the same articulation as the upgraded Predator that we got from later lines. His head is on a ball joint, so it moves left and right and up and down. He has ball hinge socket shoulders, which are extremely tight. In fact, playing around with him when I got him out of packaging, the arms are still tight, and I had to do a little adjusting to try to get them to loosen up a bit. Elbows do bend, again, very, very stiff. They rotate at the forearm. He has a rotation and hinge in the hand via a ball joint in his hand. Of course, the plasma caster shoulder cannon does have its own ball hinge. It's not really so much a hinge. It's not a ball hinge, but it's just a regular hinge. Hinge at the bottom, hinge at the top. And it can rotate as well. He has a waist swivel, and legs go forward, back, out, extremely loose, but just you can get him out. Swivel at the thigh. He has a single bend at the knee, and he has a rotation and hinge in the foot. If you guys have had a chance to pick this guy up, congratulations, you have probably one of the coolest Predators that NECA has released. But let me know down below, like, did you guys keep him in packaging? Did you guys keep him, is he out on display? I guess really he should be out on display, but ultimately I probably, until I find a good home for him, I'll probably keep him in the box because I really dig that artwork. Also the time that Spot's shooting this video, NECA's planning on releasing an NES Rambo, which would also be something I'd want to pick up. And of course, there's the NES Batman that we're going to be looking at eventually as well. Fantastic work. I've always loved the Predator molds from NECA Toys, and to get him in a game that I grew up with, it's not something I want to brag about, but I did play Robocop. I did play Robocop. I did play Predator, though, a lot. Disappointed that it had nothing really to do with the movie, and you fought these weird slug things, and it was a complete disaster. But this is an awesome piece. For that reason, NES Predator, I'm going to give him an 8.5. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the NECA Toys, the NES Predator. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. Thanks for watching, as you always do. I'll see you guys next time.